guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I've got a little bit of a different build for you because this is a speed build. I normally do stop motion builds. I haven't felt the best in the past few days and stop motion builds take quite a long time to do. So I'm doing quite a small build here. I did set it as a small home but it ended up being a little bit bigger because I made a little porch on it. But I've done a little overgrown cottage. And I do apologise if I move my camera a lot. It's one of the reasons I don't do speed builds, that and I back and forth so often that I have to speed these up a lot so they're not too long. So I do apologise for that. But you can see a little bit of my process. You'll see it changes so much because I'm so indecisive and I never think anything's good enough. Even looking back now, I'm like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. But yeah, it's fine. Because yeah, I just haven't felt great. I did message the winner and they have the pack from the expansion pack giveaway that I did, and I was going to announce it because they said it was okay to publicly announce it, but I just haven't felt good enough to even make that a video. So I just thought I'm just going to sit down, play The Sims. By play I mean building The Sims because I never actually play the game. I'm actually really bad at the actual game. I just really enjoy building. So I was like, I just want to not worry about anything. So I was like, right, I'm just going to sit and I'll just record it, and if it goes well, I'll upload it. And I think this build went alright. Like I said, it is just a little overgrown cottage. I did this in Henford on Bagley, and yeah, I quite enjoyed making this build because I've been trying to do my New Orleans builds, but they're really big detailed builds, and I've been getting quite frustrated with them because one of them I'm trying to get it very accurate and I can't get it accurate because The Sims just doesn't allow it. So I get myself frustrated and then I just turn The Sims off and can't be bothered. So I was like, right, I'll have a quick look at a few cottages, just get a tiny bit of inspiration, but then just build any shape and any layout that I want and just freely build. So I will hopefully have my New Orleans build up next week. I do try and upload 2 videos a week, but this week I haven't even got one like normal length video. I was trying to get my New Orleans build up for Sunday and it's just not happening. I've still got to do more of the build, but with my job and I run my own business and then obviously doing The Sims content on the side as a hobby, it's just been too much for me the past couple of weeks. So hopefully I will get this New Orleans build done. Currently I'm making a jazz bar. Somebody suggests doing a jazz lounge, so I'm going to do a jazz lounge as well, since this is the whole of Newcrest I'm creating into New Orleans. So, and all of the lots are going to have like multiple houses or lots on them. Well, it's not a lot on a lot, but yeah, it's going to have multiple things on one lot, just so it looks really full and like a proper like city. So I'm an absolute nightmare with this because I was trying to keep it within the 100 tiles and then I just gave up because I made a porch, and like for some reason a porch, even if it's not a room technically, it counts because of the tiles on the floor. So I was just like, right, it's not a small house anymore. It is still technically a small house because it is small, but I'm not going by the rules of the tiny home decorator pack. I can't remember what that pack was called. What was that pack called? I don't know, it came out a while ago. I actually quite enjoy it. I love making tiny builds. I think they're really like good, just chill builds to make because you don't have to worry about trying to fill in loads of space, and I sort of like the challenge of trying to squeeze everything into smaller spaces. So yeah, I did create a second floor for this. I feel like with most of my builds, I always do a second floor. I don't know if this is just because, like, especially where I live, most houses are 2-story. You get bungalows, which are more like for your older people. But yeah, there tends to be 2-story homes, and if you're in a flat, it's made from a 2-story home. And one person lives on the bottom story and the other person lives on the first floor. So yeah, I used a lot of the cottage living pack with this because it just made sense because it's a cottage. But I did use other packs as well. I try not to limit myself with packs because otherwise I feel like I get myself even more stressed out. But if you guys do want me to try do a build that's only a certain pack, or even if it's only base game, do let me know, because I do like a challenge every now and again. I won't be doing it anytime like within the next couple of weeks because I feel like I just need a break from challenging myself because I'm just tired. And hopefully as well I'll get back to doing more tips and stuff. It's quite difficult coming up with some of the tips because the way I do it is I look online at like houses and stuff and inspiration of rooms, and there might be something in that room I'm like, wait, that's not in The Sims. Is there a way I can recreate that? And sometimes I can sit for hours just trying to make one thing. Like I made my climbing frame build because I was like, has anybody made a climbing frame in The Sims? And I searched it up and I couldn't really see much of anything to do with the climbing frame. So I made the climbing frame build, and then people kept asking, is the slide functional? Is the slide functional? And like, it wasn't. And then obviously I come up with an idea to make a functional slide. It might be a little bit glitchy, but it's technically functional. It works, okay? It's fine. So yeah, I like challenged myself to do that. I was like, what can I do? I need to make something. And I was like, what is something where a sim actually slides down? And I was like, wait, there is actually an item where the sim slides down because there is a slide. And then I just test things out, like making the items smaller. Can the sim still do that? And then if I build a room on top, can the sim still do the option? So yeah, it takes a lot of trial and error, but it is really good fun. Some things obviously you might have seen some of the tips that I do. You might have seen other creators do them. I just like to show my spin on it. If I knew the creators, like who made what tip first, I would say, but a lot of the time so many creators have done these that I don't know who the original creator is. So if you ever see a tip that I've done and you know who the original creator of the tip is, please let me know and I will like highlight your comment and pop it to the top, because I do like to give credit where credit is due. So yeah, I actually cut a massive section out of this build because I built a big garden and I put in a little chicken coop and also the animal shed, and I was like, it just doesn't work with this build. It's not meant to be like a farm, it's just a little cottage. And then at this point I wasn't doing it as an overgrown cottage, and then when I put the pond in I was like, I feel like I just want to add loads of vines coming at the side and make it look really overgrown. I have loads of grass all over the floor, and that's what I ended up doing. And the pond actually technically isn't a part of the build in a way because I've fenced it off, so it's like it's just behind the cottage and just blends into the rest of the world. So if you see what I'm doing now is putting bits of grass and flowers on the floor. These are from Debug. So what you can do is they're quite widespread, these flowers, like it's a whole section of flowers. But the grid part you can put on your lot, but the flowers actually expand off the lot. So it can sort of help connect your lot to the world, and it just makes it fit in a little bit better. I also like to select trees that are around the world also, because I just think it looks a little bit more realistic if you're matching the environment around. So here I am adding lots of plants just to make it look really overgrown. So yeah, a lot of the windows are very tiny on this. I found when I was looking at cottages, the windows were really small. I'm just doing a really small little walkthrough. This is the living room, and it's as soon as you walk in. I was going to make like a little mudroom area, but it just didn't quite look right. And then there's just the bedroom upstairs, and that is it. If you enjoyed this build, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!